Hello, I am the summer of your discontent, and this is Board Deck and Dice, and today we are looking at Hedger Trunter, which is a game from Richard Garfield, and it's essentially a drafting game, but it has some more mechanics that make it interesting. In this game, you are Hedger Trunters trying to get treasure. And if we look at the board here, you'll see there's three areas. There's the blue Arctic area, the green jungle area, and the red pit of hell area. And on each area there is a max and a minimum space. And these are dealt out randomly. So you'll notice while in the Arctic area, the maximum has a nice good score and the minimum has a nice negative score. In the pit of hell area, the maximum has a negative score and the minimum has the high score. So in the hell area you want to score lower, but in the Arctic area you want to score higher. And then in the jungle area they have two different types of card. Yellow tiles are scored immediately at the round end, and grey tiles are scored at the end of the game. And you're simply trying to get the most treasure. This yellow card tile will give you 2 coins for every red card that you've played this round, and the grey card over there will give you 1 coin for every treasure, which is on the back of here, you've collected during the course of the game. Yellows are discarded at the end of the round though, so they won't be kept till the end of the game. And on a turn you are dealt a hand of cards, and you will look at these, and using a drafting mechanic you will decide which to keep, and then you will pass the cards left or right depending on what round it is. There is 5 rounds over the course of the game. So you are looking to draft heroes, coloured heroes of certain values to your pile. So we have a green, a red and a blue here. There's a 2 9s and a 7, but they go from 1 to about 12 I think. And if you decide you're going for the blue, you might want to keep that in front of you face down, and you pass the cards on, etc. There's ways you can kind of mitigate your score or make it better. Here we have the blue animal companion. There's an animal companion for every area of the board. Oh, it just knocked him off. So this one doubles all your blue cards in that round, so the score of them, the numerical value, so that's really good. Scare Goblin, we will talk about in a minute because it comes to these guys. Shrinking Potion can take 2 off your total score for a certain area. Flaming Sword can add 4. We'll talk about the dog in a minute. Sleeping Beauty can cancel out one of your cards. This card just simply gets you the value of treasure that it has on it at the end of the round. Goblin Mercenaries will get you +8 for your score, but you must put 1 coin, 1 bronze coin on each of the goblins over there. Mystery Mule lets you pick up a card, that kind of Hail Mary play of hoping that you draw something useful. And there are the rest of the colour cards. So lots of interesting cards there. When that's all done, you will work out who has the highest score and the lowest score for each area. And if you're anything like me, you'll get the lowest score when you want the highest score, and the highest score when you want the lowest score, and that will be part of your score at the end. So you're trying to get the good cards, obviously. You're trying to get bonuses in the yellow and the grey that will suit you. If you've won a lot of treasure, that's definitely worth getting hold of. If you're going to go for red and play a lot of red cards, that will be good that time as well. But what you're also trying to draft and be aware of is these goblins. After you've got the treasure, you go and camp, as Hedger Trunters do, and you are attacked by goblins. Now these goblins can be put off by guard dogs. You see the guard dog has a poor value here, and these go from 1 to 3. And each of the goblins has a poor value too. If you match or beat that value, you will not be attacked by goblins. But if you do not meet or match that value, then you must put the amount of coins listed on the goblin. And then the player who has the highest poor value takes all the goblins and the money on them. And goblins are worth 1 coin at the end, and there is a grey card tile that actually gives you bonus coins for collecting the most goblins. So goblins can be a good strategy. And then this other card, the Scare Goblin, that stops you from paying any money to goblins. So had you not been able to get any guard dogs, then you might want to try and pick up the Scare Goblin. So there's a lot of strategy, a lot of tactics, a lot of trying to outdraft your fellow your fellow players, and it goes for 5 rounds. The drafting direction changes each time. And as with Richard Garfield games, it's just very well put together. I'm a big fan of Richard Garfield, love King of Tokyo, I think King of New York is good as well. And this is another strong game. It revolves around the drafting mechanism, familiar from people who've played Sushi Go. So you all look at your hand, you take one, you pass it on. And that goes until there's only 1 card left and you're left with it. And it means that you can really kind of screw people over. If you think that someone's going for that blue one and then you've got 2 cards left, and you could either give yourself a good card or you could play them a really high red card, which might result in them getting -8 at the end of the game. There's lots of decisions to be made. The addition of this Goblin track is interesting as well, and it plays quickly once people know what they're doing. In fact, it almost plays too quickly in the drafting phase. We had to kind of house rule in that we had to wait for everyone to be ready, because there were stacks of cards and the people who knew exactly what they wanted to do were just going like this and passing the cards on, and it got a bit confusing. But other than that, I think it's a great, light, easy to understand game. The iconography makes sense. The addition of the goblins adds that little bit extra. At the end of the game, the board turns over and there is a scoring track on the back, so you can easily work out the score. You have some additional tokens for that. There is a couple of little expansions that give you more goblins that do different things. The instruction manual is just one of the best. I think I've said this before, but this is probably one of the best instruction manuals I've read. Apart from it being a bit unwieldy, it just goes through the game and just talks you through and makes common sense. And as you can see, there's not a huge amount of writing on there. You also get a kind of quick reference sheet. Again, I wish with these reference sheets and rule books that they weren't the size of the box. They're a bit smaller, a bit more manageable. But the way they're written, the examples, all clearly illustrated, excellent. So, really good instruction manual. The intimidation value, there's a lot to punch out. There's tiles and all cards and different things. Low to mid. Instruction manual, excellent. Fun rating, phenomenal. And you might observe as well, just to the side of my rating, I've made little origami boxes to put some of the coins in, because then I don't have to empty them out. Excellent. Yeah, well worth it. If you like drafting games, get this. If you don't like drafting games, there's nothing here to convince you really. But if you do like drafting games, you want something a bit deeper than Sushi Go, something that you can play with up to 6 players, then it's well worth a look at. I've been the summer of your discontent, and this is Board, Deck and Dice.